What is up, guys? I'm Solbash. Welcome back. We are back with some more Paladin Strike. Today we finally got some information on the closed beta 03 patch notes. The update that they did this past week, we finally got some information on what was released in this. And of course, we all know that the new champion Maeve was released. What they say about Maeve is she's an agile flanker who excels at entering and exiting fights at a moment's notice. Pounce and Prowl allow Maeve to engage in fights on unsuspecting foes, chase down enemies with her deadly daggers. Now, as we do recall, we've already been over Maeve, but she does cost 22,000 gold and 699 crystals. Her abilities are daggers. She throws 2 daggers dealing 60 damage by each dagger. Bonus damage, each next 3 daggers deal critical damage when Maeve is behind the enemy. So kind of remember that. I don't know if I picked that up in the actual game. It may have been cut off by the UI. Pounce quickly dashes forward in any direction, collide with a nearby enemy to perform a melee strike for 180 damage. There's bonus damage on this as well. Pounce will mark the target exploding in 3 seconds, dealing damage to equals 35% damage Maeve dealing during the marked period. That was worded a little weird, I'm sorry. Prowl moves 65% faster for 4 seconds. Firing your weapon or casting another ability will cancel Prowl, and there's a bonus damage during Prowl. Using Pounce will deal 120 bonus damage and stuns the target for half a second. 9 lives resets the cooldown of Pounce and Prowl, and Midnight enemies have their vision restricted for 4 seconds, which that is her ultimate. Now, as far as everything else that came out, there were some new skins. All right, the Maeve Scarlet Blade skin. This one came out with Maeve, of course, and we have the Bomb King Pumpkin skin as well. It's available in the Fall Fright bundle. Along with that, you get a Buck Abomination skin, so that's pretty dope. Now, this is what I was really interested about, was the balance changes, things that changed with the characters. This is what we have not known about at all whatsoever. So here's this information here. The balance changes that they did in this update. Evie, she called a nerf. Her reduced damage of Ice Staff from 50 to 45. Now, it's not very much, but I've also heard people talking about Evie missing a lot more of her basic attacks as well on that Ice Staff, not only being reduced. I can't confirm that from the patch notes, but I'm just going off of what people from the game have been saying. Victor, they reduced damage from Frag Grenade from 300 to 280. It's not too terrible. Frag Grenade is probably not used as much on him from me. I mainly use more auto attacks than probably trying to land a frag grenade, but hey, that's only 20 damage off of it. Grok, legendary rune change. They reduced the bonus damage of Maelstrom from 75% to 65%. Now, this is pretty huge. This is an actual legendary rune. This is not an ability or anything. This is your rune that you pick and take into the fight. The bonus damage off of Maelstrom reduced by 10%. That's the first of that we've ever seen in these. Now, moving on, we have Androxus. They increased the damage of basic attack from 135 to 140. Now, that is the first buff we've seen in this balance change. Also, on reversal, they increased the damage reversal absorbs from 600 to 1000. They reduced the reflection damage ratio from 100% to 50% though. So you got a little bit of a buff and also a nerf there. And they also reduced max duration of a cursed arm from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Now, a cursed arm, I'm gonna just right off the top of my head say that's his ultimate, because his ultimate had a very short period of time to where you can run in and attack people. So it looks like they may have lengthened that period. But Androxus being the first person to actually get a buff and then kind of a nerf at the same time. But the nerf was only on the reflection damage ratio. It went from 100% to 50% instead of all the damage they do to you during that time. It can put out, it looks like 500 damage at max. So he got a little bit of nerf and a little bit of buff at the same time. Now, moving on, Barrack, another legendary rune in the mix. Rocket Engineer. They reduced the stunning duration of Dwarf Grenade from 2 seconds to 1 second, and I do thank them for doing that. That was one of the most annoying things to do. Beginning of every fight, just run in and Barrack just slap you with that stun grenade and you're just stuck there and you're dead, because there's going to be somebody that's backing him up as well. So Very happy that was changed. 1 second does seem feasible for this, as in line with some of the other ones, there aren't really stuns that are really that long. So I'm glad they kind of deferred away from keeping things kind of in the stun meta. I do like that they did not do that. Now let's see, we have next Makoa. They increased the damage of his cannon from 160 to 165, and they reduced the damage of shell spin from 850 to 750. All right, so he got a buff and a nerf at the same time. His basic attacks were increased by 5, but his spell shin was reduced by it looks like a total overall damage of 100. Of course, that damage, you have to be on top of that person or close to him when you're doing shell spin. So I don't know, maybe that'll balance itself out. You are doing 5 more damage per shot plus whatever stats. Now do remember, these are base stats, guys. These are not calculated off of what your runes are and everything like that, so it's going to change, so be aware of that. Now moving on from there, Sky increased damage from wrist crossbow from 50 to 55. Now that is our basic attack. So we got a lot of buffs and not as many nerfs as we were expecting. Next we have Pip. He'll increase healing effect of heal potion from 240 to 260. Now they also did change a legendary rune. They reduced the addition of acrobatics from 50% to 35%. Now myself, I would have to go look back at that because I haven't played Pip very much. But acrobatics, it's something possibly to do with his movement speed. Don't cut me down, don't get me wrong. If I am wrong, I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like. But they did give him a buff on his healing, which he's not really a healer. He's more of a lone support flanker kind of in this type of game. But the legendary rune, the reduction, you know, that's 15% off of acrobatics. If I was wrong on the acrobatics, somebody let me know in the comments below. Let's see, we have Kanessa as well. They reduced the highest damage of sniper shots from 400 to 375. All right, so she caught a 25 damage nerf on sniper shots, but they increased the critical chance bonus during sniper mode from 25% to 50%. Now that's huge. That is a big increase for critical chance bonus, because I mean, that's double of what it was to begin with. And free damage, I mean, they did nerf a little bit on the highest damage, but that critical chance 375 crit, it's gonna double it, so that's pretty nice damage still. Now optimization of maps, they summons mode, of course, they added new terrain and they replaced the mini map. They lowered the angle of the camera to 45 degrees, as you can see in the gameplay. They replaced the healing fountain models and they replaced the base models. Now, so far, currently, that's all we know that they've done. That's all they've said with the summons mode. Looks absolutely amazing. I actually like the new looking map. I like the 45 degree camera angle, so it's great. It works out fine. Now, they also have the avatars, of course. Now, I did tell you I was going to make a complete video on this, but I don't really think it just renders making a complete video just for this, just to tell you that if you play with your favorite character for 50 matches, you'll get the avatars. Now, there are a bunch of avatars and you have to play 50 matches for each one of these. And yeah, that's pretty much all they had for the patch notes, guys. If you have any questions, if you have anything to add to this, if you'd like to give them any feedback, feel free to do so, because I know they do come and read the comments. As you can see, you've seen the community manager in some of the comments on some of these videos before. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a few days since I posted. Gonna have some different stuff probably coming up soon as well, so stay tuned for that. But again, thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Solbash. You guys have a nice day.